welcome back to my channel. If you're new, sorry it is late out. I was hoping to do this video earlier in the day, but my baby's sleep schedule got a little mixed up because he's teething. My name is Maddie and I have a 12-month-old, and so today I am doing my 1-year motherhood answering questions. So let's get into it. So like and comment down below, and then subscribe to my channel if you're new here and join the family. So let's get into the first question. The first one is, sorry, I'm just reading it off of my iPad. The first question is, was the birth experience what you wanted or expected? So expected, like I didn't know what to expect because it's my first baby, so you can wish that it can go perfectly well, or that you wanted everything that you want, but you can't get everything you want. But so I would say, like, I did make a birth plan and I've talked about it in another video. So if you go to my channel and you look up birth video, you can see it. And then I also talk about my birth story also is in there. If you go to, I think my birth story is in my postpartum playlist, and I think how to make a birth plan is also in my postpartum playlist as well. So was my birth what I wanted? So yes, it was. Like, we did follow, like, even though backtracked. So I did not end up at the hospital I wanted, though. I had the choice of 2 hospitals if I had to go. And so, like, my first choice was about like 30 minutes from where I used to live. And then the other one was about like 10 or 15 minutes, but I didn't go to either one of those. I had emergency ambulance had to pick me up because I was bleeding and my water broke. By the time the ambulance got there, my contractions were like 2 minutes to 3 minutes apart. So yeah, I could have had the baby in the ambulance, but I didn't. So, because I didn't know I was in labor until my water broke, and then boom, so close together. So I arrived at the hospital, and then at like 12 in the morning, and then by 7:01 my son was born. I had him pretty fast, but I didn't know what to expect with my labor, so I wasn't like strongly like disappointed. I wouldn't say that I was a little disappointed that I didn't get the hospital I chose, but circumstances happened. So overall, my birth experience was fine. It happened the way that it needed to happen. I was glad that I was taken care of. If I went to the other hospital, it would have taken a lot longer to get there, especially even in the ambulance, would have taken a little longer. Okay. The next question is about feeding. So feeding, so obviously, like, he was not the best latcher, so I did combo feed him for a while. He was mostly on breast milk and then a little bit of formula, and then around, like, he was almost 5 months, I completely stopped breastfeeding because he wouldn't, like, if I breastfed, he would still be hungry, and it was just really hard to deal with. And I just decided my baby needs to be fed. Whatever way that works is what's gonna happen. So baby fed, happy, mama was happy. And it was also taking a mental toll on me because, like, I took some like lactation courses, and like birthing courses and understanding how to breastfeed, but also like when I was in the hospital, he latched good, but I also wasn't making a lot of milk, and he didn't need a lot of milk right away. So by the time I got home, just the latching was bad. I just wish I had a lactation consultant come to my house and we could have talked about it and figured it out, but I ended up switching to formula. And right now we're in the process of like slowly gonna start weaning him off of formula and go to just milk. And then another part of it, do I do baby led weaning, or is he on purees? So I did both. So I did purees, and then I also had him do, little finger foods, and he loves that. So I did both, and we're also like switching him of like his feeding schedule too. Just more meals and then a little bit of milk. So we're also in that process. Okay, this next one is a good question, and I've seen other YouTubers also get similar questions, so I like kind of rephrase the question too. How do you deal with when people give you like gifts that you necessarily didn't ask for or aren't like what I like Montessori inspired toys? So yes, if you look around, this is my son office / playroom for my son. So it's kind of hard. Like, yes, I want to be a lot of Montessori, but yes, there's a lot of other toys. Montessori can be expensive. So I'm planning on starting to do the toy rotation because he has a lot more toys. So now I can actually do the rotations. So, and then bring out some of his new toys and exchange that. So I just don't really care. I don't really have like the aesthetics that I don't really care about the aesthetics. It's what it is. The only thing is I don't want something really colorful. But I have some that are like colorful, but it's what it is. I don't mind it. But you can always return them if you don't like them. You don't have to really tell the person that you returned them. Or you can tell them that, oh, I got a duplicate, but this is what I exchanged it for, so they know if you want. So I just hope that because I do put a list, I hope they follow it, and if they don't, it's okay. My son will just have a lot more toys, and then we declutter. I might donate those toys. So I'm not super picky. I'm not super set on Montessori, like completely just having Montessori toys, or Waldorf toys, like any of those specific toys. I like them, but I'm not like completely set on it. So the next question is, what is your plan on school? So obviously my kid is only a year old. Yes, we're going to like teach him at home, but is he going to go to public school, homeschool, private school? What? It's like, what should I do? Especially when you hear all those like horrible stories that happen nowadays. But I'm leaning about kind of homeschooling, but do it like with like a lot of other moms and do like a group. I think that'll help with the socializing, also help with putting them in like after school activities, sports, if they're homeschooled, or if they go to regular school sports anyways. And then just activities for them to do if I choose to do homeschooling. Right now we're considering homeschooling, but that can all change once he gets older and we can kind of see what best fits. But right now we kind of want to do homeschooling, but we'll see. This, like, fifth question is actually a really good question. And I wish people would actually, like, I know not a lot of people want to talk about, like, mental health. It's still kind of taboo. But I wish, like, more people would ask and, like, check in, like, more deeply than go, oh, are you doing okay, good today? And if you answer yes. But what if you're having a bad day? Do you ask, are you having a bad day? You just ask if they're having a good day. And someone can lie. So it's not really like a deep worded question. So, how was my mental health after having a baby? So I would say about the first month, I did pretty dang good. Like, I was still adjusting. My hormones were crazy because I just had a baby, and I'm in like that honeymoon stage of like meeting my baby, being so happy. But I think about like 3 months in, like, I don't know if it was like the baby blues or depression. I think it was kind of both of that hit me hard. And like, I just didn't know how to cope. And then also like my struggles with breastfeeding. That's also why I really needed to stop breastfeeding. Like, yes, I got mom guilt, but the opposite of mom guilt of I should just formula feed because it's fine. Just formula feed. Breastfeeding is not important. It's too hard. I wasn't encouraged or helped breastfeed. So I think all those like contribute factors led me to like having bad depression, and I had like really bad mood swings, and so I would lash out, especially at my husband. But I think it also had to do with the birth control that I was on. I know this is not part of the question, but I am not on any birth control anymore. I've been on birth control since I was 18, so about 10 years. So now I'm not on birth control. So I'm starting to understand more of my body once again as an adult, and like learn it, kind of understand like what I need, trying to adjust like what vitamins I need to help me, to like do natural family planning to like, obviously not get pregnant again for now, and that to just be healthy. So obviously also another contribute part of my mental health was that that birth control that I was on, one of the side effects which I got, because after not having the side effects, I have definitely noticed I have lost weight. So I was like obviously trying to lose my baby weight, but that birth control, once I started like getting that birth control after having him, I gained more weight. But now I've lost, and I still have more to go, but I am starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in my body. Obviously I need to get new clothes because obviously the constant change, my clothes stretch, then they're too big now. It's all that whole cycle. So next question. This is a great one. What has been the most challenging part of being a mom and being in motherhood? So I would say the most challenging part, definitely when you're having a low point in your motherhood, like if like something's not going as you planned, like breastfeeding, like I was disappointed in myself, and then I felt that I couldn't like help my son. And then I also got like the mom shame. Oh, you should just continue breastfeeding. Oh, you should switch the formula. And all of that was really hard for me. And then also another challenging part of motherhood is like learning my son's cues. But now I really know him, so. And then another part is understanding what my son, that's also challenging, is how to deal with when my son is doing something that he's not supposed to be doing is also challenging. Or if my husband, or another part is if my husband doesn't like something and I'm a little bit more lenient, like we butt heads. So that is also challenging in my motherhood journey and in my marriage. So that is a little hard. So hopefully I'll be getting that out to you of how a baby changes your marriage. So the next question number 7. What parenting style and what are your thoughts on your child having tantrums, and how do you go about that, and how do you discipline? So obviously my son's only 1 right now. He just turned 1 like the other day, week ago. Sorry. So really, we don't really, I don't know if we would say, well, we don't, for parent style, I don't really have one right now because we're just like basically guiding him right now. Like, yeah, I might be strict. I don't know what my parenting style would be. My thoughts on tantrums. So it's kind of hard to understand if it's a tantrum or if he's tired and he's just throwing a tantrum because he's tired, obviously, or just tantrum because he's not getting what he wants. So that is also hard to tell the difference between like if it's a regular tantrum or a sleepy tantrum. But you have to learn their cues. Once you do, then it'll be understanding. So my thoughts of tantrum and discipline are basically the same thing. I just redirect. I see like with tantrums, I go, okay, what's the matter? How do I distract you so I can do something? Like if I'm changing his diaper and he wants to throw a tantrum, I try to find something that I can distract him with. And then that's how I distract him and help his like tantrum, and then he calms down. I get him to calm down. And then for discipline, I just redirect him, and then I give him praise when he's doing something, like when he learns a new skill, when he's doing something good. So he gets like those positive reinforcements, and then redirect, because I asked my pediatrician, he doesn't know what no means, right? And she's like, no, you won't know. So I'm like, you could say no, or danger, but there's no really point. They don't know what it really means yet, except that you get really mad when you say no or stop. So I just redirect. Okay, the next question is, what have you enjoyed most about motherhood? So I've enjoyed practically all of it. Some parts are a little harder, like harder stages, but I would definitely say like I love and enjoy, when he hits like especially a new milestone. Like lately he's been like wanting to give you kisses a lot, and usually used to just be like, yeah, you want a kiss? Nope. Sometimes he'll give you a kiss, and then now he's waving more. Now he's actually responding to sign language. He's walking. So it's like, now it's just like really fun to see him hit like all those different milestones. And then I love when he like starts laughing and giggling, and he just like makes the little silly faces at you, just like, oh, he's so innocent and just so cute and pure. It just makes me excited. And I love taking the photos of him, and then I can see it later when if I'm having a bad day, I can look at those photos and go like, oh my gosh, I just want to go home and like snuggle him. So that's what I've been enjoying. Almost practically every part, maybe one stage over the another, but I've been loving it so far. Some days might be hard, but I still enjoy it. I love just being with him. Sorry, I have an itch on my back. The next question is, what is the most useful thing you did to prepare? So you'll see if you go, I think it's in baby number 1. Obviously I put him under 1 because I don't know how many babies I'm gonna have, so it just helps you understand. So sorry, I need to readjust. So what was useful preparing was obviously having my baby shower, and getting like a lot of the things I needed from my baby like registry, and then just doing all those like nest with, like, I made 3 nest with me videos. Like I cleaned all his clothes, not knowing what size he wore, so I cleaned like I think all the way up to 6 months. I just did it because I'm like, I have all these clothes, I don't want to, and I don't know how big he was, because they were saying that he was going to be a little, not small, but you know, average. But you don't know, it's not 100% accurate. And you couldn't really tell, except the way that I carried my baby didn't look like I had a super large baby, even though he was almost 9 pounds. So I just try to prepare as best as I could and just have family around to help me get myself prepared. I don't know if they mean about like birth. I just was like, oh, okay, birth is gonna happen. I kind of know an idea of what's gonna happen, but it was like, okay, it's gonna happen how it happens. So I just prayed for the good parts would happen. So this question, what was something you thought would be like a bigger like challenge, but it actually turned out to be like easier than you thought? So there's a lot of stuff. So I thought breastfeeding would be really easy, but it turned out it was like hard for me. It might be easier for me later on, we don't know. What did I think was going to be a challenge? I think giving him a bath and like, I don't know, getting him to walk. This is a hard question. I think it was like giving him a bath, which it kind of is hard. He's super big, so he outgrew his baby freedom. I think at like, what age was he? 6 months? Yeah. So what I do is me and him take like a shower bath, I guess, together. So I do it with him. We practice his swimming skills, and then I wash him up. It just makes it easier because it's hard on I have scoliosis and really bad knees from swimming. So it's just easier for me to do it that way instead of bending down. And then it's all the time when my husband's like home. So we just work out a schedule that works. And then he'll get him out. And I thought, and then my husband would change him and I actually take my shower. And I always thought that would be the hardest. But it turned out to be the easiest. I can't, maybe in another Q&A I can rethink this after I think about it. But that is my answer for right now. I don't know. Last question. Question number 11. Okay. And like any point would you, they're really asking, when are we like considering having a second baby? We don't know. I would like them to be like at least 2 or 2.5 years apart. So soon, I guess. But we want to pay off some debt. We want to have some higher paying jobs. And we also plan on moving out of the state of California. So once that starts out working out, then we are really considering that. So those are all the questions that I have for now. I don't know when exactly we'll have our second kid, but soon, and you guys will know. I'll see you in another video. Bye.